I left the city, I've been browsing. Treading water that they drowning. I head on the swivel, yeah. It's only really my surroundings. They keep it all the way.
Hey everybody, it's Zach, aka Zach's Reviews. We are back again with another video, and guys, it's very late. I just got done with the finale of Marvel's What If, episode 9. Literally, guys, this episode was just freaking phenomenal. I have to freaking figure out the name of this episode. I just literally had a blast with this episode. It was called What If the Watcher Broke His Oath? And how perfect that is. What a great start to this episode. As of you guys all know, I liked last week's episode, but just you guys know I had a big gripe with the whole Ultron being able to split, Thanos in half. I thought that was like lazy writing on that thing. It made no sense to me how that was possible. I can get into it more, but this is a whole new episode. This is the finale. I don't want to get into that, why I hated all that, but if you guys want to see why I didn't like it, go check out my episode 8 review of Marvel's What If. But guys, this was just a banger of an episode. What great action, what a great story, what a great conclusion to this series. Like the beginning of this episode, we literally start off literally on the Lemurian Star in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and it's Captain Carter literally living the life that Steve lived on the Lemurians, like going on the Lemurian Star, doing all those cool things, and in like Captain America Winter Soldier, and I was like, this is so sick. I wanted to see that, on how Captain Carter, how Peggy would have done, like lived the life that Steve lived almost. So I really did love that. Captain America the Winter Soldier is my favorite Captain America movie. I bounce around sometimes like Civil War to Captain America the Winter Soldier, but Captain America the Winter Soldier is up there as with my like top 4 of the Marvel movies, literally. Like, so it's up there even in my top 3, so like it's up there on my list. So the fact that I got to see that, I was very happy. And Peggy Carter has a relation, it has the banter that Steve had with Natasha, and like Captain Carter's best friends with Natasha, they're BFFs, and I just thought that was cool. How she's like, oh, I have you have your swords, I got the shield, and he's like, well, she's like, they're actually knives, but that's cute the way you're saying it or whatever. So they had their little banter, you know what I mean? Like how Steve and Natasha had that in Winter Soldier. I just really liked that a lot. And, when, she lands on the Lemurian Star, she's fighting Batroc, and she's like, oh, what's that? And you see the Watcher up in the air. And the Watcher is literally, like, grabbing every single character, trying to recruit the new Avengers team. And, grabbed Captain Carter from that moment, grabbed Star-Lord from saving, T'Challa Star-Lord from saving, actually, Peter Quill at that Dairy Queen. And next thing we see, the Watcher pick up, Thor from, beating all the Ultron bots up in the Party Thor episode. And we see, the Watcher getting Killmonger and recruiting Thanos, Gamora. He's just recruiting everybody, and they're building the new Avengers team, but they're calling it the Guardians of the Multiverse. And I thought that was clever and funny and cool. And just seeing how dumb, how Party Thor is all singing the Viva Las Vegas song when he fights Ultron. I thought that was hilarious, and Ultron's like, that's the first time I've heard that battle cry or whatever. I thought that was hilarious. The jokes stuck, you know what I mean? They were really good jokes, and it made me laugh a lot of the time. And I have a blast in this episode. And you guys know I hated the Party Thor episode, but I actually liked Thor in this episode. I was like, okay, I like this. One of my favorite parts is, when, they're all in the room together, and they're, floating, they're in some sort of, spacecraft, and they're going through the multiverse, and Thor's he says something like, oh, did Loki put you up to this? Okay, I'll see you guys later. And Doctor Strange, was like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And he opens the door, Thor, and he ends up he's like, ah. I just thought that was hilarious. I just liked it. The jokes stuck. The action was awesome. Like, the action was up there with, like, Infinity War action. Like, there was callbacks, like like in Infinity War, when they were trying to get the gauntlet off of Thanos, and like everybody's like piling on, doing all these cool like combos together. I just thought that was sick. My favorite fight sequence is when Captain Carter they're on the planet. It's kind of like they're on Titan almost, fighting Ultron. I got a lot of Infinity War / Endgame vibes, like towards like the end, fights and stuff, like between Titan and the end battle with Thor, Iron Man and Cap when they're fighting Thanos and Endgame. I got a lot of vibes like of both of that Titan fight and the trio fight against Thanos from Endgame. So literally my favorite scene was seeing Natasha use the Red Guardian shield and Captain Carter using her Captain America shield, bouncing the shields off of Ultron's head. That was freaking sick. Seeing Captain Carter maneuver like that, and seeing Natasha work together, and they both have the shields and they're doing all that. And my other favorite scene is the one scene where like Thor threw Mjolnir up, and then Doctor Strange multiplied it of like different, like a whole bunch of like like duplicates of Mjolnir, smacking in the Ultron and stuff. This was the best choreography / fighting I've ever seen in a cartoon. Like, that was freaking sick. That's that top-notch stuff we should have been getting in this series. And it kind of annoys me we got all this crazy cool fighting in the last episode. We should have saw that throughout this entire like series. Sadly enough, we didn't. I'm going to let it slide because it was their first season. But, I really did like this series. I only didn't like 2 episodes. I didn't like the zombie, and I didn't like the Party Thor episode. But if I'm like, and that's really good, for their first, ever animated series, I only didn't like 2 episodes. That's it. Which, they weren't like, oh my god, this is excruciatingly bad, but like, I just didn't like them. So like, I'm very impressed I'm not like really big into watching like animated cartoons anymore, but the fact that they kept my interest, and by it just like, what I mean, like not just because it was Marvel, but like the fact they kept my interest is just very awesome, and I'm very happy that I just didn't like 2 episodes out of this entire series. You guys already know my ranking. I'm gonna re-rank them. I'm gonna read them off to you guys how I would rank them, by which ones I like the most. I would probably still put Doctor Strange episode. Well, actually, I would probably put this episode, Doctor Strange episode, which is I would probably put 9, 4. What else would I probably put after that? 3. After 3, I'd probably put 2. Then after 2, I would put 1, and after 1, I would put 6. After 6, I would put 8, and after 6, I would put 8. Actually, I would put 8 over 6, and after 6, I would put 5, and after 5, I would put 7. That's how I would rank them, guys. My listing. If you guys want to go look at them, but that's how I would rank them. My least favorite episode was that Party Thor episode. I just didn't like that episode. I thought it was stupid. I'm not a drinker or a partier. I'm 22 years old, and I've never had a drink in my life. I've never smoked. So like I didn't find it all that like, you know what I mean? So like, I'm just not about that lifestyle. It's okay that some people are. I'm just not about it. But other than that, guys, like, this episode killed it. It was such a sick episode. And seeing, like, I'm so happy we got to see Killmonger in action, because me and my sister talk about this all the time. We got some like Infinity War vibes in here, and me and my sister said if Killmonger was still alive was still alive and imprisoned in like in Black Panther going into Infinity War, he would kick ass with T'Challa if they actually were like, they worked together. And you know what I mean? And like, he didn't want to kill T'Challa. If they actually worked together, they would dominate in Infinity War. They would be the dynamic duo. And the fact that we actually got to see Killmonger actually participate in like a friendly manner in the beginning, because actually we end up, finding out that he actually only wanted to help to get the Infinity Stones. And shockingly enough, I'm shocked he was able to like use them, because we all know what happened to Iron Man when he used them. So I was like, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, that's kind of like a little plot hole. That doesn't make sense. That how is Killmonger okay? He used the Infinity Stones, but like before he could really do anything, he and he was also fighting. At this point, Ultron is no more. Arnim Zola, Black Widow, Natasha shot an arrow, the arrow that had Arnim Zola's, consciousness in it, and then shot it into Ultron, and Ultron is now taken over by Arnim Zola, and like Killmonger and Arnim Zola are fighting for the stones, and Strange, Dark Strange puts them in this like crystal ball, and like is gonna protect them in like a part of the multiverse. So I guess if they get out, they can wreak havoc on the multiverse. So I think that's gonna come back probably, if not in season 2. Maybe there would be a problem and they get out, or maybe in Multiverse of Madness, maybe that's when somehow maybe that they get out, and maybe we could see Ultron again. Maybe we could see Michael B. Jordan come back as Killmonger, and that could be a story in live action. I don't know. I feel like they're really trying to bring back Ultron in the MCU, though, so I feel like maybe we'll see him again. I just don't want to revisit the stones and stuff, because the Infinity Saga is over. I don't want to have to rehash all that stuff, because, again, there's plot holes in this episode, even though I like this episode with the whole Killmonger using them, not dying, and, the stones being able to be used throughout different parts of the multiverse and stuff, which makes no sense, because how are they able to work when Loki even said that they're only able to work in their the stones are only able to work in their in their universe, not just jumping all throughout the multiverse and them working. That just doesn't make sense. Loki said that each stones are made for one Earth or made for one universe in the multiverse. So each multiverse has Infinity Stones. You can't interchange them, So that's what Loki pretty much explained to us. So that's just a plot hole that doesn't make sense either. That Ultron's had these stones and has been jumping. They had these stones from one universe and have been jumping to each different multiverse of each different universe and using them. That doesn't make sense. That's a plot hole. But, I mean, you really have to think about it and remember what Loki taught us to be like, oh, that doesn't make sense. Because it just doesn't make sense. Because, again, Loki specified that each stones are made for each universe in the multiverse. And you can't interchange them or use them in different universes. That's not how it works. So that's another gripe I had, from last week's episode following into this week's episode, on top of the whole how is he able to use those stones? Doesn't make sense. But other than that, guys, this was a phenomenal episode, and that end credit with Captain Carter going back, Peggy's going back to her timeline / universe, and we end up seeing on the Lemurian Star, they end up coming across what is it? What is it? What's it called? A cargo shipment container, and in that container we see it's the Hydra Stomper, and apparently Black Widow said that Steve's in there, which means is Steve kind of like the Winter Soldier to her? Which would be sick. Does that mean he has maybe abilities, or he'll be the same Steve that we saw whenever? I don't know. Wouldn't that be cool if he did get the serum and he's all yoked and stuff, but he's the Winter Soldier to her, like he's the Bucky to you know what I mean, to Steve's, to Steve, you know what I mean, or to Captain Carter, you know what I mean. So that'd be cool, you know what I mean, like how Steve had Bucky. But Captain Carter is gonna have a Bucky, but it's Steve. I love that. That's so cool and unique, and I'm hoping to see more of that in season 2 of What If. If not, maybe because we've been hearing that Haley Atwell is probably gonna be coming in to live action to play, you know, Captain Carter in Multiverse of Madness, which is kind of like, that's very interesting. A lot of people aren't happy that, you know, they're going to be coming to our universe. A lot of these what if characters, I'm okay with it. I mean, that's what the Marvel universe is all about, and that's what the comic books are all about. You know, people coming from different universes. The universe is getting, you know, the universe getting bigger, or, you know, going through all these multiverses and everything. Like, that's what comic books are about, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to give us what we want, like, you know, what we loved in the comic books. They're trying to do that in live action. So let's, like, you know what I mean? Let's just let them, you know, give us what we want. I don't know why people don't want it. I'm down for it. I mean, we want this universe to grow, so I'm all in for it. But other than that, guys, that was my review. Literally, I give this series an A+. It was a great series. I only didn't like 2 episodes. I'm gonna give it an A+ because I liked a lot of the, you know, the different, you know, multiverse storylines and stuff, and it's only gonna get better into season 2 because it's already confirmed, and I already knew this was gonna be happening, that we would get Shang-Chi, that we would get the Eternals and all of them in season 2 of, you know, What If, which that's all confirmed. We're gonna get a lot of the new characters next year, which makes sense for what Marvel's What If. I think it's going to be next year they're going to release season 2. I'm not quite sure. It's just a guess to me, but I know they are making a season 2. I'm just excited to see what they're going to be doing in season 2 and how that's going to, like, again, this is canon. It is connected to our, like, we are in the multiverse, somewhere of the multiverse, and it is canon. So I'm wondering what can affect what they do in What If, how can that affect our universe in the multiverse? How will that affect our universe? I'm excited to see how that will. But guys, that was the video. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and put on those notifications, like this video. I would love to have you guys here, a part of this family here on this channel. We're growing each and every day. We're almost at 400 subs. That's the goal, guys, is to get to 400. And I really want to get to 800 before the end of this year. I know we can do it. I know it's October, but guys, I know we can get to 800 before the end of this year. That is my goal. That is my dream. I'm trying to make this my living. I'm trying to spread nothing but love, positivity, and motivation. That's what we spread here on this channel. So guys, if you're new to the channel, just subscribe to the channel and put on those notifications and like this video. Let me know down in the comments below if you're new to the channel and you do subscribe, so I can welcome you guys to the family. But guys, that was the video. I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys thought about this episode of What If, and what you guys thought in general about this season 1 of What If. What did you guys think about it? And let me know down in the comments below how you would rank the episodes and which ones are your favorites to your least favorites. But guys, that was the video. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.